Yeah, thanks. Gotta make this place home. This is home right here. That's right. I'm planting a flag down under in Australia. It's been a blessing where life has taken me post-basketball, and although I usually don't share in depth my thoughts about what this game has truly done for me and where this game has taken me and how I approach things mentally, I wanted to sit down with one of the hardest working women I know in Australia and talk to her about those things I just mentioned. Very grateful for where this journey has taken me, and I wanted to share it with someone who I truly respect. Baller's life has given me an opportunity to see the world, and I'll share it with you. Oh, peace. Man, that was beautiful.
Thank you. No, that was good. That was
Thanks.
fun.
That
See,
was
I
some good shit.
learned stuff in there. And I've
Thanks.
interviewed you before, I've heard you talk, but that was good.
That was my
Thank you
first
so much.
interview that I've done with giving like current insight, like talking about like how she will leave you. She's going to leave
Yeah,
you.
that was good. And the passing.
She's going to leave you. Yo, throw me that ball. Throw me that.
The
Woo.
inbound pass.
This right here?
Yeah. That's
She
awesome.
gonna leave you. That's what we do.
That was prop stuff going high.
That's what we do. Motivate, impact, inspire, and educate. Anything I do, all I want to do is, if not all four, one of those things, an experience with me, whether big or small, you take away from it. One of them. Motivate, impact, inspire, and educate. That's it, man.
Thank you, that was awesome. I appreciate it.
Tab Courtside One-on-One with Megan Huswaite.
Homicide in the backcourt between the legs, shakes, bakes with the pill. A little Fred Flintstone shuffle. Homicide to the basket. Yes! Williams. Oh, a charge. Oh, my goodness.
Corey, Homicide Williams, welcome.
Megs, what is going on? How you doing? I haven't seen you since December, first of all.
So happy to see you.
What's going on in your world?
Just here back for season 2 of Courtside One-on-One, and we are so happy to have you with us.
I'm happy to be on here with you. I know you got a star-studded lineup this season. I'm just grateful that you chose me.
I will always choose you. How does someone get the nickname Homicide? A professional basketballer? Where'd you pick that nickname up?
Street ball in New York City. In New York, when we play, they'll give you a game, they'll give you a name based on your style of play. And you know, we often at times, we may exaggerate things. So we'll say, he's killing you, he's murdering you, versus he's just really outplaying you. You know, most people in the world, they'll say, he's outplaying him, he's kicking his ass. For us, he's killing him, he's murdering him, he's brutalizing him. So that's how the nickname Homicide was birthed. Talking 2000, Harlem, New York at Rucker Park.
Well, it played a huge role in the course of your basketball career and your life. Street ball.
Yeah, it did. It did. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for playground basketball, and I owe it everything. It gave me opportunity, gave me exposure. I didn't sort out to be a street baller, but I just knew that the platform was so big, and that was the height of street basketball, and I knew that I can get exposure, and I knew exposure led to expansion, and it just gave me countless opportunities that I am forever grateful for. The game has given me so much. It's a debt I could never repay, and that's why I try my best in every way, shape, or form, pay it forward.
You played professionally for 24 teams across your career. Take me through some of the countries you played in.
Christ. Woo! That number sounds crazy, but that's the reality. Dominican Republic, France, Germany, Greece, Australia, Sweden, Israel, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Croatia, Lebanon, Iraq, Dubai. There's some more in there somewhere.
There's a few more.
China. I played everywhere.
You played everywhere.
A true mercenary.
How much did playing, across the world shape you as a player, but also as a person and the person you are today?
Look, I have 2 college degrees, but the best education in my life has been traveling and just world experience, man. It's helped shape me in ways I could have never imagined. Places I've been, people I've met, experiences that I've had, countless. The stories, I can tell you a story every day for probably the rest of my life and never repeat myself. I've lived enough, and I'm very grateful for it. The good, the bad, it shaped me the person that I am today, and for that I'm truly grateful.
Kids dream of playing in the NBA. What was your experience like with the NBA over a few years?
Well, for me, when you start from nothing, I wasn't the guy with the big name and the big rep who everybody said, this is the next guy. I was the complete opposite. So everything for me was a win. Did I want to play in the NBA? Of course, who wouldn't? What young hooper, male hooper wouldn't want to play in the NBA? I got an opportunity, it didn't stick, but it didn't matter because my goal was to play basketball and get paid for it and travel the world. I'm on my 3rd passport. I am extremely grateful for what this game has given to me and done for me and my family. I wake up every day lucky and grateful. I truly, truly am. And it's all a win, and it's all perspective. There's some players that had goals and aspirations to make it to the NBA and didn't make it, and they're overseas and they're bitter and sad. And it's like, my man, you get paid a whole lot of money to play a game that you love. How are you not happy? So I'm just glad that, everything that I wanted to get out of this game, I've gotten it more. I'm truly grateful.
So the young baller from New York,
The Bronx, baby.
your manager had a few wise words for you. He thought Australia and the style of game he would suit you. He was right.
He was right, and that's why it's important. Representation matters. Don't go for an agency or manager to rep you because they rep X, Y, and Z player. You're not them. So why become a horse in a stable and they're all going to focus on X, Y, and Z player because that's their bread and butter? You're not going to get that same energy and focus for your career. So you have to find a manager that actually cares about you and is going to push for you and guide you the right way. I had an angel named Bill Neff. And at the time, I was a bit older, but I still had a lot of gas in the tank. And he said, listen, your style of play, you'd fit perfect in Australia. Most players from New York do exceptionally well in that league. It's a run and gun style of play. We'll find a team for you with the ball in your hands, and you'll be able to do your thing. And it worked out. And a lot of times it doesn't work out like that. I came here and hit the ground running, and it's been, if not, one of the best leagues I've ever played in my life.
Love that. You come to Townsville and you win the MVP with the Crocodiles. What did that mean? And we'll talk about your association with the NBL beyond that, but what did it mean to come in and win, the league title?
Well, to come in and win MVP, it was my 3rd year. I didn't expect to just want to come in and go for MVP. That's never any true competitor's focus, right? If you get it, you get it, cool. If not, you want the chip. If anything, you want the grand final MVP. We came close twice. We lost game 3 to go to the grand final. So I was more proud of leading a team of underdogs to that close to getting to a grand final. And that's the power of home court advantage, because you can't tell me if we had game 3 at home, we would not have went to the grand finals. And truly grateful for what we accomplished. We made the town proud. This is Townsville. It's not Sydney. This is not Melbourne. This is not Brisbane. It's not Adelaide. It's not Perth. It's the Ville. And I wore it like a badge of honor when we went out there to compete against anybody, let alone those top cities. And It felt great. I think if anything, it solidified and stamped me as a legitimate professional athlete. You know, I fought a stigma a long time in my life as, oh, he's just a street baller. You know what I mean? So what you gonna say now? He was MVP of a professional basketball league. So without knowing it, I really needed that to solidify myself as not only a street baller, but a legitimate professional basketball player.
Legitimate league MVP. You head back overseas, but then you come back to Australia and you play in one of the cities you mentioned. You come to Melbourne and play for the Melbourne Tigers, steeped in history and success. How do you reflect on that experience?
Man, I loved it. I mean, you know, Melbourne, such rich in history and tradition. To put that singlet on, it meant a lot. You know, it meant that you really and truly were regarded as one of the best players in the league, because that team only suits up the best imports and the most respected imports, truly. So it was an honor to do that. There's a lot of tradition and history and pressure as well. I joined the team late after an 0-5 start, but we didn't make finals, and I truly appreciated my opportunity with Melbourne Tigers nonetheless.
Well, your third stint in Australia comes after a return overseas, but this time it again changes the course of your life. You're holidaying here when you're asked if you're available to commentate.
Oh man, the power of social media. The power of social media. Come back over here, and I was doing exactly that, just holidaying in Melbourne, and came to visit a best friend of mine at the time who lived in the Docklands. And I began posting on social media like I was in the city. I just came in to work out, relax, and wait for my contract, which was coming in about 3 to 4 weeks, to go back to the Middle East. And the NBL got wind of me being in the city, in the country. And, you know, powers that be reached out and it's like, you know, what are you doing here? What's going on? I'm like, look, I'm just passing through. I don't know what's going on with the NBL. But I'm just passing through, and through conversation, an opportunity came up. And a guy like me, in my past, a lot of opportunity never just came my way, because you have to be a favorite for opportunity to consistently present itself. And I was always an underdog. So when you're an underdog, opportunity usually does not present itself that much. So when this opportunity presented itself, I saw it as, I don't lack foresight. So I saw what it could be if I showed enough potential, which was an opportunity to commentate, right? Be a part of the broadcasting team. And Larry LK, the big dog, just bought the league the year before. So it was just like rebranding and, you know, here's what we're gonna do. We're taking this thing to the moon, a la Elon, right? And I saw that opportunity and said, here's your exit out of the game. I called it the great escape, right? Leaving the game that I'm obsessed with, at least on court, to now transition to now talking about the game as a commentator. And this wasn't a full-time deal. I was only on here for 3 weeks. But what I did was, because I had a great rapport in the Middle East, in Lebanon, they sent me my contract, and I said, look, I'm up to something. Go get another import. If he doesn't work out down the road, give me a call back. Let's see how we go from there. But my focus was to give my all. So if it did not work out, I could at least say I tried my best. That's all you want to be able to do. At the end of the day, we all have to look in the mirror with whatever decision we make. And I wanted to make sure if I walked away after that opportunity given by the NBL to commentate, I knew I gave it my all and I could live with it from there. Rest is history. So this is season 5, running my mouth on television, talking about the game that I am obsessed with, and I am truly grateful for that opportunity.
So that move started with a couple of weeks commentary that turned into a couple of months, and here we are 6 years later. Let's talk about the NBL, because in that time, there's been an evolution. You've seen it, you've been part of it, you've contributed to it. Where's the NBL at right now?
You know, I come in and I say a lot of things, right? And some of it may, I'm not gonna say yes or no, but some of it may be looked at like he's just looking for a reaction. He doesn't actually believe it. Let me tell you what I told you years ago. I said this league's one of the best leagues in the world. They didn't believe it. They believe it now. I said this league may get bought by the NBA. It's that good. They didn't believe it then. They're starting to believe it now. I said Melo Ball was this, that, and the third. They didn't want to believe it. They believe it now. Just like I'm telling you, Bryce Cotton is the greatest import ever. They don't want to believe it, but he's making you believe it now. The evolution of this league and the respect that it has now, it's just a beauty to actually not only see it come to fruition, but see players get these opportunities and people begin buying in and being a believer. Forget me. The players that are hooping, the level of players that have leveled this league up, it's phenomenal to see and be a part of it. Because let me tell you something, this ride, it's a phenomenal ride. It's a phenomenal wave. We got the seat hot and popping. Before, it wasn't even cool to be a commentator. Now players want to be commentators. You're not getting my spot. I tell you that. But they, I feel you though. But what I'm saying is, it's so cool for this league to be respected the way it is. The time is now for Australian basketball. The last 5 years, we have seen a resurgence. It's been consistent and it's been better every year. The standard is as high as any other league as far as 1 to 10. You cannot find me a league where it's very difficult to beat the last place team when they suit up. The first place team could lose. Jack Jumpers, for example. Shout out to Scott Roth, who's coach of the year. In my opinion, they've exceeded expectations down there. Usually, when an expansion team comes in, how are they usually? They suck. That's the reality. You know what I mean? They put a team together of role players and a coach that believes in these role players, giving them opportunities, and they balling. They are a potential threat to be in the top 4. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't happen in leagues. Your imports got to show up. You now getting players where Aussies balling out in this league, you going to the big show. You know what I mean? They created, because of the next stars, G League Ignite. Adam Silver's on record like, look, I'm jealous of what they got going on. If I had a son who was good enough, I'd send him down there too. Behind closed doors, Adam Silver's like, listen, we got to stop this. We got to. Enter the birth of G League Ignite. We got to stop our American babies coming down here. That's the strength of what's going on. It's so far away, Australia. We're in a bubble here. So you guys, a lot of people don't know what type of conversations are actually happening on that side. I do. So it doesn't surprise me when I'm saying these things and then they now start coming to fruition. So it's a great time for basketball in Australia. The Boomers finally medaled. How incredible is that? The Opals, they've medaled before. Now let's take this to a whole nother level. The Opals have medaled before. Worldwide respect. The junior level, worldwide respect. One of the best junior programs in the world, right? Center of Excellence, AIS, MBA Academy. Pick one of them, you know what I'm talking about, right? Boomers finally medal, which is everybody been waiting on. The NBL right now is one of the best leagues in the world. You're not telling me right now this ain't a powerhouse down here in basketball? It is. Time for basketball right now in Australia is now. We are in it. Embrace it, appreciate it, push it, promote it. Tell a friend to tell a friend. God damn, all I do is promote, don't I?
So the Boomers win their first ever Olympic medal in Tokyo. You're at the Olympics too. You've achieved so many things in your career, but what was it like to commentate at an Olympics, to earn that opportunity and then live it?
So in my life, I have been able to will my way into making things happen. No help, no support, don't matter. I'm used to no help, no support. So I'm not the guy that says, damn, I don't have no support. Why ain't nobody helping you? It's the real world. Don't nobody owe me nothing. Nobody owe me nothing. I knew years ago, I'm going to the Olympics with 3x3. here's the one thing I had. On paper, they have me as one of the greatest street ball players of all time, right? I currently am on the broadcast team, one of the best leagues in the world as a commentator, right? What is 3x3? 3x3 is a mix between street ball and pro. So if you have, on paper, one of the greatest street ball players of all time, that's a broadcaster and a voice in one of the best leagues in the world, why would you not want him a part of what he embodies, which is 3x3? Tick, right? And that's a big thing. Second thing, would I want to do this and how could I do it? What helped? 3x3 Hustle, which is a part of Australian basketball, right? Under the NBL umbrella. So I started getting experience covering 3x3 because it's fast, it's quick, 10-minute game, real physical. You got to be able to keep up and call quick. I got the experience doing that. Tick. Now, who do we need to talk to? The head of FIBA 3x3. I don't want to talk to nobody here because what they got to do? They got to report up there. I don't want to talk to nobody here. What they got to do? They got to report up there. So I'm skipping all of this. I'm going right to the top. Look, here's what I do. I would love to have a conversation with you. Once I get you on the phone, I'm a good talker. That's the New Yorker in me. So, if nothing else, okay, let me get this guy opportunity so he can shut up. It don't matter how I got the opportunity. Now it's about seizing the moment when you get the opportunity. Now, name of the game, add value. You don't add value, nobody wants you. In no facet in life, if you do not add value, somebody wants you. Nowhere. So I needed to make sure when I got the opportunity to do World Cup in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia, I knocked it out. And I'm very grateful for that, which birthed me the opportunity to do the Olympics, the COVID Olympics in Tokyo. And all I wanted to do was go there and win the medal for 3x3. I left with the gold medal because that birthed me into getting an opportunity for 2024 in Paris. Oui, oui.
So World Cup, Paris Olympics, oui, oui. What are some of the other boxes that Corey Homicide Williams wants to tick in what comes next?
This right here. I'm very fortunate to have been named creative director of basketball for Foot Locker Pacific, something I'm truly proud of. One of my first loves are sneakers. To be involved heavily with some big dogs, and one of the biggest things that one of my roles is to help push the game, sneaker culture forward within youth culture in the Pacific region. So I'm truly, truly grateful for that because that's a passion of mine as well. I love sneakers. You know, I love hoops. I love dressing up, showing a little bit of style, your pizzazz and diversity in how I dress. And footwear is essential and a big part of culture, whether people know it or not. You know, even if you're not into it, if you have children, you're buying your kids some fly sneakers. You know what I mean? So I'm just very grateful to be a part of that. I really, really am. Another thing is diversifying the portfolio. Sports tech, we're talking to some companies right now. I'm big in crypto. Anybody that follows me knows crypto. I'm an avid, I'm into it. I know it's the future. And a lot of people, even though you don't understand it, just think maybe, I don't know, the 80s, I guess, the 80s, I think, or the 90s, the whole Silicon Valley, .com internet era. You didn't understand it, right? But people are like, there's no way this can work and that could work. 20 years later, 30 years later, right? We're in it. Crypto's not here to stay. That's nonsense. Just because you don't understand it, it doesn't mean it's not here to stay. Do yourself a favor and educate yourself, because when banks start accepting it and countries are starting to be run on crypto, it's here to stay. Get involved. Listen, I'm not missing the boat. All right? So I hate when people don't share knowledge. You know what I mean? Those are selfish people. Because if you're going to get it anyway. But share it. Sharing is caring. And I care.
You're a big carer.
I care.
You've brought so much to basketball as a player, as a commentator. You've been a breath of fresh air and high energy here in Australia. Corey Homicide Williams, it's been great to chat to you about it. We look forward to whatever comes next, whether it's in the commentary box, off court. There's heaps ahead and we can't wait for it.
Thank you so much, and trust me, Larry K's my man. It'll be in the commentary box.
Peace out.
Peace.
Tab Courtside One-on-One.